again, ladies. I hope you're well. I hope you're coping with this self-isolation and finding things to keep yourself busy and occupied. As I promised, another little video from me with some tips, hints and tips for how to perhaps do a pedicure. It's one of my most popular treatments, and by now I should imagine there's quite a few of you that need a little bit of my help but can't get to me. So I thought I would walk you through, so to speak, a pedicure routine. Hopefully it'll just give you some hints and helpful pointers to do something yourself in this meantime. Now, of course, you will have probably watched me, but it's actually doing it, isn't it? So over here I've got what we would need for the treatment. You need something to wash your feet in. You need some clippers. Now, these will be the most sensible type. They are lever arch, so it's like a hole punch. The blades sit down straight on top of each other, and they are the most accurate, I believe, and can cause the less amount of problems for you. Now, I will give you some words under this video, and there'll be some links for you to where to get them. You will also need an emery board or a nail file just to buff those edges off, and I like to either use a cuticle stick, which is the wooden one, or a rubber hoof stick, or one of my metal cuticle pushers. Another really important item, if you can get hold of one, is a four-way buffer block. And it's a little bit like an emery board. It's a little bit rough, and it helps buff the surface of the nail down to help get rid of dry skin. Right, back to me. We will also need some moisturising lotion. And I always like to put a little tiny bit of oil in. Now, that can be a cuticle oil or an almond oil or something like that, something lightweight. Just a few drops, and it just enriches any foot cream. But equally, I will add some ideas of things to look out for in Boots, Superdrug, because they are open, so you can go in there with your social distancing important spaces between us. Now, a lot of you won't want to paint your toenails yourself, but I don't think that's a problem. Just keep them well nourished and healthy, and then as soon as you get back, I can paint them up and make them look beautiful and pretty again. But if you can look after them, that's the most important thing. Okay, soaking the feet is the very first thing you must do, and this is going to make cutting the nails so much easier. So the longer we can do that, the better. So big bowl of soapy water, it can just be the washing up bowl. Get a towel ready, and I would be putting some shower gel or some bubble bath in there, make some suds, keep it nice and soapy, and soak for at least 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Dry your feet off, and then you would need to start the clipping process. Now, as I said, these are the type that you want. They go up and down, and then you would be placing the toenail in between the two layers and just pressing down in a straight line. Try to keep the clippers in a straight line, and then pinch a little bit and a little bit and move along. When you're at your little toes and your smaller toes, you'll probably be able to get it all in at once. But the softer those toenails are, the easier it's going to be. Now, if you can get to your own feet, that's wonderful. But it might be that you'll need to get some help from a family member, the husband, and just try to explain that it's a slow process. You don't have to get that whole nail in, the big toenail, all at once. Just a slow process, a little bit at a time. Snip, 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 but keep the blades straight. Once you've cut them all, you will need to buff them down with an emery board to keep them smooth so that they don't catch on anything. And at that point, you could then use your four-way block, sanding block. And as I say, it's a little bit rough, and you would just go over the top of your toenail and all around the edges and get that lovely and smooth. You can then use your hoof stick if you would like to just push those cuticles back, and that's just the soft skin at the very base of the toenail, so not the free edge, at the other end next to your toe. And just gently, really gently, just push while the skin's lovely and soft. Just gently push that back, and that just exposes the fresh nail, but really gently, because it is fresh new nail and we don't want any bruising. Okay, the last thing that you would want to be doing while they're still quite soft, your feet, is to use your foot file. And these are just like a very rough emery board. And again, I will give you some links as to where to get a nice one. You just need a really good handle that you can get hold of. And then just rub that around the heels, wherever you can feel any hard skin or dry skin. I'm really suffering at the moment, so I don't know if you are, whether it's just being in all the time, but lots of dry skin. So really give them a good old buff over. You know, obviously, you know, be sensible, don't go too mad. The brain just wants to make more hard skin. So, as I say, buff, buff, buff with those. And once that's finished, you can then wipe your feet over again with the towel, and then lovely, lovely lashings of your foot cream with some drops of oil. You can even use olive oil, not too much, but it just enriches. Okay, and then just rub those in. And if you can bear it, put some cotton socks on and leave the cream on and the socks on for as long as possible. It really helps keep the feet warm, and when the feet are warm, the moisture gets soaked in twice as much and twice as quickly. All right, my lovely ladies, I hope that gives you a little bit of a process. Good luck with cutting the toenails. Just, you know, as I say, little bits at a time, and file afterwards. And look after your feet, but most of all, look after you, and let me know how you get on. If there's anything you would like me to talk about in the future over the next few weeks, give me a little buzz, give me an email, text, or something like that. Stay in touch, and I look forward to seeing you here in the salon very soon. Lots of love.